All right, everybody, welcome back. It's the end of the world with Michael and Stu.
I'm Michael.
And I'm Stu, and today we are talking about the sci-fi masterpiece of the 1990s, perhaps the greatest and most important film made in that tumultuous yet celebratory decade.
Yep.
That's right, it's Event Horizon, directed by Paul W.S. Anderson from a script by Philip Eisner.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I said last week that when I saw this as a teen, I would have been about 16 when it came out. I was terrified by it.
Mm-hmm.
On rewatching it, I'm going to have to try and understand that.
Yeah, I actually, upon rewatch, I realized I have actually never seen it.
Oh, so this was a true rewatch.
I do feel like we were talking about ideas for something to do, and remember I was like Edge of Tomorrow, and then we went with Event Horizon, and I'm pretty sure I just had the two movies confused.
Oh,
completely.
you had seen Edge of Tomorrow, but not Event Horizon. Well, before we get into all that, however, we're not going to do a big news segment today. Michael is about to embark on another international journey.
Mm-hmm.
This will be the 11th country that Michael has recorded from in almost exactly 2 years that we've been doing the show.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think we should just say that we're doing a full news episode next week where we will try and consolidate what we've learned from these latest Epstein document releases.
And what is sure to be an exciting 7 days. So who knows what the episode will look like.
Yeah, I mean, God only knows what other horrors will transpire. One thing I've noticed about the whole Epstein story, I listened to a 6-part podcast about it just to like get a pretty like fact oriented one that just kind of lays out like where Epstein was, what he was doing, what happened, when was he arrested, what were the charges, how did the charges change, which was helpful because there's this sort of miasma of allegation that is just spooling endlessly out from this case, understandably, As you know, I'm not the greatest of conspiracy believers.
Sure.
But in this case, there seems to be both fire and smoke, shall we say?
A broken clock and all that, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've never denied that conspiracies do happen. I just have sort of, I think conspiracies...
An inherently skeptical view. Right,
because I think conspiracies that are based on competence always seem ridiculous to me.
Sure.
Right, whereas this one, it's not really competent. I mean, you're looking at the emails these people are sending to each other. There's one email Epstein sends where he's like, "Hey, how are you? Are you feeling okay? Loved the torture video." And that's it.
I'm not laughing for real, but
I mean, but it's just like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like, what? Don't send. Anyway,
I mean, it does seem just across the board that everybody involved had reached, again, not to justify it, but just like a degree of a sort of mania of being above everything.
Yeah,
right? Of being sort of completely detached from the order of society.
Well, or the concept that they could ever be held accountable for anything at all. Yeah,
that's right.
I mean, that's that. Yeah, and when
it does appear that Elon tried to get to the island and they turned him down.
Yeah, there's a thing going around. I'm not sure if it's real. The one where Epstein forwards Elon's request, where Elon's like, "Girls, FTW!" exclamation point in parens. And he forwards it to Ghislaine, presumably, and is like, "Deal with this." Mm-hmm. I wonder if that one seems fake to me.
I mean, again, this is the other totally insane problem with doing it this way, which of course is, I would think, somewhat deliberate, so that the mess between whatever is real in here and whatever is not real all sort of muddies together to help escape further accountability, because this doesn't seem to be going through any proper channels. They're just putting it on the internet. Yeah.
Well, I mean, right. I mean, that's by design, as you implied. I think it is really funny when Musk writes and says something to the effect of, "What is the best day for a big party on your island?" or whatever.
Yeah. And the subject heading is like epic vacation.
It's really just like I mean, it is kind of nice that everyone, even evil pedophile monsters hates Elon. But one thing I was going to say before we move on to the movie is there's this sort of thing on Twitter I've been noticing a lot where like the most salacious and obviously unhinged and not true allegations have been kind of being elevated into my feed. There are a couple people that will retweet any allegation. Like I saw one about George H.W. Bush participating in a human sacrifice.
Okay.
And then there was another one about Trump was there when a girl was murdered and like he was like on a boat as her body was like tossed into a lake. And,
interesting.
And I was like, well, hold on. So you're telling me Donald Trump is like present for the body disposal? Like
yeah,
that sounds
like
that sounds exactly like him, right? He's like, yeah, I'm a hands-on guy. I like to just, he always had a hard hat on. You couldn't get him off the girders when he was building a new building, right? I mean, and it's understandable that you'd want to believe the worst, but it also, like you said, contributes to this genuine uncertainty about like where is up, where is down. You become disoriented, almost like.
Although it'll also be interesting to see, right? Because one of the things that I've seen, people just online sort of with their takes and stuff. One kind of interesting one that emerged. It's like, again, it's not a particularly original idea, but just that there's a sort of show of force element behind this. Sort of like you've asked for it. And it is real, and no one's ever going to be held accountable. Move on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that, in many ways, is one of the most frightening of all the potential outcomes. Right.
I agree. It's well said. An even more terrifying outcome, however, would be to be lost in an interdimensional region of outer space aboard.
Right, coming in sort of a close second to being here, where we actually are.
So you told me that you'd never seen this. You thought you'd seen it. That's pretty good. I definitely saw it. I remember being in Connecticut. My parents had moved back to Massachusetts. Just continuing my episodes along, attempt to completely dox my personal history. But I had gone back to visit my friend Trevor, and we rented this. This is probably Christmas break, 1997, 98, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember being so shook by it for some reason.
Yeah.
Around
the same time, I was probably being very moved by Semi-Charmed Life. Right?
Yeah. I believe that was around that time. I remember performing it not that long after this.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
Yeah. I did it. I once did a very beloved performance of it at a Yale secret society, in fact. So.
Oh, wow.
Getting even further behind the mask. Sure. Building the mystery, as it were. So the movie. Well, we'll have a Yale Secret Society in the End of the World episode with an insider's view later on.
Sure.
We'll talk about all the children we sacrificed at No, there was nothing like that. There was nothing like that. I was in the Gay Liberal Society, of course. We didn't even have a tomb. We just had an old house. It's a cool house, well, but you
gotta go with the hand you've been dealt, right, Stu?
That's right. In any case, this movie was pitched as, wait for it, haunted house in space.
Yep, and now you can see why it got $60 million.
Right, just some.
It's the classic like studio head sitting there like, I don't need to hear anything else. Get me my checkbook.
It was being produced at the same time by Paramount as Titanic, and this was supposed to be the big hit before Titanic. They're like, all right, we're gonna have this come out in the fall. Titanic will hit at Christmas. It's gonna, which wasn't how that didn't end up working out because this movie was a pretty big bomb. On the 60 million budget, it only made 42 million at the box office. However, thanks to people like me, it became a cult hit on VHS and DVD, and eventually did end up making money. The movie opens with a timeline that's funny to look back on from 2026, right? 2015, first permanent colony on the moon. Okay.
Yep, not quite.
Missed.
Unless we do have one and we don't know about it yet.
We'll get into that in a future episode as well. 2032, commercial mining begins on Mars. That
Just around the corner.
seems pretty unlikely unless Elon, is able to wriggle out of this latest implication. 2040, deep space research vessel Event Horizon launched to explore the boundaries of the solar system.
Mm-hmm.
She disappears without a trace.
I guess that means the mining on Mars went pretty well.
Yeah, they're like, let's go beyond the solar system. Disappears without a trace beyond the 8th planet. Neptune is the worst space disaster on record. Although when we see it...
I love that too. Like, we have any context for the other space disasters in this fake universe.
Well, we sort of get a little...
Oh, the worst one. Oh, wow.
But also, like, Event Horizon's not that big. There were, 20 people on it, maybe?
It doesn't feel like it could be the worst space disaster on record in this world that we've had established, right? I mean, even just from 2015 to 2040, one vessel disappeared. That's the worst disaster. I mean, maybe the most impactful or most mysterious, but...
Yeah. So we're set in 2047.
Sure.
It opens up. We're on a zero gravity ship. Is this the Event Horizon? There's a bunch of objects floating, watches, screws. There's a bleeding, screaming guy. And then Sam Neill wakes up. Oh, it's Sam Neill, our old friend from Jurassic Park. He's back.
Yeah, I just, he unfortunately, it is just impossible for me to see him any other way. I watched this whole movie like he was just the guy from Jurassic Park. Which I don't know, maybe he made it a little better. I'm not going to lie.
I think of him as the guy from Dead Calm. You ever see Dead Calm?
No, but also that's insane. He's the guy from Jurassic Park.
Well, it's a sail. I saw this when I was even younger than I saw Event Horizon. It's a sailboat movie where they rescue this guy. It's him and Nicole Kidman are married. And they rescue this guy who turns out to be, wait for it, a crazy person. And there's a kind of he pushes Sam Neill off the boat and tries to,
Good Studio's like, well, it's not a haunted house in space, but here's $21 million.
Yeah, pretty much. Now, there's not very much exposition in this movie early on. We just see him. He's got pictures of his dead wife. We assume she's dead just because there are so many pictures. And he's on a spaceship just above the Earth. Very soon he gets a message. You've got to go to the Lewis and Clark. It's a rescue mission. You're going back to the Event Horizon.
Uniquely named vessel, the Lewis and Clark.
Yeah, who would have ever thought to name it after famous explorers? So we meet the captain of the Lewis and Clark is Captain Miller, played by Lawrence Fishburne. The whole crew scene where they're all we're meeting, it's very Aliens. You're meeting all the different space marines. Yeah. I mean, the look of the ship is very Alien and Aliens. Mm-hmm. It's a very industrial vision of space travel. It's not the smooth Star Trek version at all.
That's right.
Right? A lot of people have kind of nailed this movie for just being an Alien ripoff with no alien. Our main character is Weir, the doctor. They go into these pods to do close to light travel to Neptune. I tried to do the math, but I got lazy and was like, who cares? It takes them only 56 days to get to Neptune, which is very fast, right? They're moving incredibly fast. There's a black space marine who is making sort of weird racialized jokes. They have iPads or iPad-esque devices, which I thought was a good touch. And Miller's angry. He's like, what are we doing out here? We're trying to rescue the Event Horizon. We don't know anything about it. And at this point, Weir explains that, well, people said we said the Event Horizon blew up. That's not exactly true. Actually, it was testing a faster than light travel, a faster than light drive, what they call it.
And how does he know this? Who is this guy exactly?
Well, he invented it, so he's the guy who built the Event Horizon. It's a faster than light gravity drive. It uses the graviton, this hypothesized gravity particle that I don't believe has ever been observed. And basically what it does is it folds space. Now, that's the only way faster than light travel would be possible because of relativistic limits, right? You can't go faster than the speed of light. That's just the speed at which the universe is expanding. Like, it's impossible to go faster than that. And this to me is the part that's interesting. Have you ever studied, faster than light travel at all, Michael? Was that ever a childhood interest of yours?
Of course not, no.
I was, believe it or not, quite interested.
I was more interested in high-speed performances by the likes of Randy Johnson in my youth.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And well, I was into sports too, but gravity drive is this hypothetical way where you could like fold space and like kind of punch a hole through space time,
Okay.
and you start on one point and then you just come immediately to the other point, right? This is why like warp drives in Star Trek don't really make sense, where you can go like 7 times the speed of light or whatever. It's like, no. Like if we're gonna go faster than the speed of light, it'll be immediate travel. It won't be.
Yeah.
We won't be like waiting for a week as we travel between these different systems or whatever. Never mind. All the guys are like, tell us about it in layman's terms, and so he gets a like pinup from off the wall and like pokes a hole through it. And
hey, that's my pinup.
Yeah,
says the gruff guy classically.
Also, they're like smoking on the spaceship, which I think is great. I always love when that happens. It's like, oh yeah, that is amazing vision of the future where we're going to Neptune, but no one realized that smoking will not be allowed. Like that'll.
Yes, it's one of the things that is I feel like never appeared as a vape, for example, right? Some sort of other nicotine device.
Well, I know what I'm doing in my sci-fi script that I'm working. Oh wait, damn, they already exist.
No, but yours can have like a really good vape in it.
Yeah, one that's
maybe yours could have like a vape that is healthy for you.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. It's got protein. It infuses.
That's right.
They've only received one transmission, and it's a bunch of screaming from the event horizon. Good sign.
Mm-hmm.
One voice is saying "Save me" in Latin, apparently.
Yeah.
And then the transmission cuts out, but good news, they're at the event horizon. Hooray! Mm-hmm. They're like, very impressive ship, Doctor. And he's like, oh, thank you. They clamp on. There is no breach.
And again, this goes back to many of my critiques of sci-fi, right? Where like I just want to be clear. So if I have something wrong, tell me.
Yeah.
Right? What I can gather is this ship that is unique in its ability has disappeared beyond Neptune
for 7 years.
For 7 years.
And now it's back.
And immediately upon getting there, they just go walkabout. Is that right?
Yeah, they just go in.
Interesting.
They don't send a drone in. They don't have a robot. They don't have a...
Right. So this is a civilization that is smart enough to fold space and time like it's a pinup. Uh-huh.
Yep.
But not to take the time to consider the range of possibilities of what may have happened to the vessel.
Well, and also, Michael, they send one ship because surely that will be enough, right?
Mm-hmm. Really like punctured my whole idea of the movie right away.
Yeah, I too was a little troubled by this. They go in through this umbilicus that they connect to the gate of the event horizon. They split up immediately. Also wise. Who knows what's in there? Like, we don't know where the ship has been. It could have been to the other side of the universe, right, if this drive worked correctly. They say, oh, the place is a tomb. There's stuff floating by. A glove hits Miller in the head. He kind of freaks out. Justin, who's like the young, eager beaver of the group, goes into the gravity drive room. Also, they don't let Weir, the one guy who knows anything about the ship, come with them in the initial exploration.
Sure.
Brilliant. Just totally brilliant. Weir, what is this I'm looking at? Well, wouldn't it be easier if he was just there and he could guide you? Anyway, there's this horrifying gravity drive room where there are these 3 loops that loop around a kind of black portal-like shape. And then there are just inexplicably these horrifying spikes coming off the side of it. The whole room looks like a medieval torture device. Which is, I mean, maybe I'm not a scientist, so maybe that is, in fact, the optimal construction. But it just feels a little on the nose, right? You're like, oh, there's something evil coming out of the torture room? You're telling me?
Mm-hmm.
Huh, weird. There's blood everywhere on the bridge. There are body parts like mashed into different parts of the walls and like skulls and stuff.
But you just got to soldier on. You just got to get.
But they don't even.
Here. What's going on in the event horizon?
They never even really acknowledge that, though, right?
Not even really like a. Should we just go?
Like, look at all those bodies that have been turned into paste and like painted onto the wall.
Right. Like what? So what is the idea? What is the reason that they need to find the ship?
Well,
was
presumably
given.
the gravity drive technology is very valuable, and this is the first test of it. So they
Mhm.
want to know if it works, right?
Okay, I see.
So I mean, heaven forbid they just build another one back on Earth in the 7 years while the other one is
Right.
that's not allowed.
And again, I mean, even if that is the goal, they seem to be woefully short of resources with one ragtag unit and a doctor who knows what's going
And a
on.
ship that looks like it's falling apart, right? I
That's right.
mean, it's dirty as hell. Um, so they're getting the ship's log. It's jammed. Oh, there's like a corpse floating on the bridge.
Hmm.
Uh, Justin goes in while Justin's in the portal room. Life scale readings go off the scale. Or life scan readings go off the scale, and then the portal like syncs up. The rings stop rotating, and he just like brilliantly just like reaches into the portal, and
Yeah.
something grabs him. Of
Yep.
course, pulls him through, and he's rescued by Cooper, who's the exciting
Right. Like Weir wasn't there to be like, hey, don't. So
the
whatever
one
you do,
the one thing to remember is
don't put your hand in.
yeah, and this unleashes a kind of burst of energy that completely fucks their ship, right?
Yeah.
Their ship is damaged. There's a breach in the hull. There is, um, you know, everyone's knocked over. What the hell just happened? They have to escape. Everyone has to now go on to the event horizon because they need to repair
Hmm.
their ship. They turn on the gravity on the event horizon, and the floating guy who's frozen just falls to ground and smashes. Brilliant. No one thought to, tether the frozen guy down. Whatever. We learn there's a clock. They only have 20 hours. Their carbon scrubbers can only last that long before they'll all suffocate. Justin
So
gets,
so what because of what happened, right?
yeah,
Right.
presumably.
Which again, a little bit of backup might help. If this is seemingly the most important mission in the history of mankind.
Yeah, I can't handle it. Justin, the young guy, is pulled out, but he's in a kind of coma. What a
Hmm.
shock. They're like, Weir, what is in the core? And he's like, well,
Hey,
depends.
Weir, you know what? We probably should have brought this up a touch earlier. But now that we're here, and now that our buddy is in a coma, can we get a bit of detail on how this works?
So soon thereafter, the crew members start having these hallucinations. And this is kind of the thing that the movie is about, right?
Yeah.
Is it something that has been unleashed by the event horizon skipping through dimensions has unleashed a devil, if you will. Let's call him the devil.
Sure.
who kind of toys he gives you hallucinations that are of your worst fears or of your guiltiest moment, the one thing you wish you could prevent.
But
So
the feeling is that this um, wasn't part of the human experience before a ship had been able to make these jumps, right?
yeah, I mean, the people feel guilty, obviously, but these hallucinations that are happening now are much more vivid and feel completely real,
Right.
and are have extremely disastrous consequences
Right.
for.
I mean, to me, there's sort of like a line to be drawn into our world about AI, right? Of like presenting this technology that even the people who are making it, who refer to like the black box, right? Like
Yeah,
oftentimes they're not quite sure what it's capable of and how it did X and Y. Um, and this seems again like a really good reason to not send the ship out, right? Like, oh, what if some external force does something to the ship that makes things worse for, I don't know, humanity.
right, and like it doesn't seem like Weir has even considered that, and Weir
No.
throughout the film is in complete denial up until the
Yeah.
point when he becomes completely evil and
Yeah, he
monstrous.
seems like he pretty much just like folded a piece of paper once and then was like, whoa, I think I can do that to space and time. And then that's the last time he thought about it.
Right, and I guess the idea here is that when you fold space time and you punch that hole to travel from point A to point B, you
Mhm.
pass through what is essentially extra dimensional space. And what we learn from this film is that that extra dimensional space is very conveniently the human Judeo-Christian vision of hell. Right? I mean, it's like the idea. I mean, this is like in comic books. Like characters teleport by like they make a portal, they go to hell, then they make another portal in hell and come out somewhere else. Like that's
Yeah.
the Ileana Rasputin power set, for instance. Nightcrawler is something similar. This is not a new idea. But at first you think there's like an alien loose on the ship. God knows why you would think that, just based on any other movies that we've ever seen. So the one woman who's helping Justin hears a noise. She sees a little tent that she hadn't noticed before on one of the other parts of the med bay. Oh, it's a kid. Oh my God, it's her kid. Earlier we'd seen her watching videos of her kid who's in a wheelchair. Now we see him with like horrible like leg sores that are presumably the result of the accident that put him in a wheelchair. There's in the original cut there were just like horrible maggots all over this kid. And someone at the studio was like, yeah, let's tone that down a little bit maybe. Justin comes alive after she has this vision, and he's just like, the dark.
The dark. The dark.
Weir's like going through the core. He's going down to fix a like shortage. He starts hearing a voice that's like, Billy. Suddenly the room starts going dark and coming back and going dark again. I thought this scene looked kind of cool. Oh, it's his dead wife, and her eyes are red for some reason. Oh, phew, it's just a hallucination. Suddenly, like a fire breaks out. Chaos is kind of on the loose here. They're all experiencing something, but they're unable to kind of communicate about it. Smitty, the pilot, is like, the ship is fucked, which is like the first
line. Perhaps the best line of the movie.
The first like rational thing anyone has said since arriving on this hell ship. You break all the laws of physics. Do you think there wouldn't be a price? So again, this old idea of the magical bargain, right? Mm-hmm. You make a deal with the devil needs his due, right? And then someone's like, maybe this is a kind of immune reaction. The ship is treating us like...
Right. Well, now they're throwing out ideas.
Yeah. And then suddenly they're like, wait, where's Justin? Bad news, Justin is airlocking himself. he's in a sort of weird trance. He walks into the airlock.
Justin's on one.
Yeah. Justin, ironically, will be one of the survivors, despite airlocking himself. Luckily, Captain Miller comes back, and Justin hits the button to open the airlock. There's a countdown, and then he comes back to being normal. He's like, wait a minute, what happened? Like, let me back in. It's like... It's all a little ridiculous. Sam Neill is going insane, by the way, as this all unfolds. The dark inside me. That's what Justin's talking about. What does that mean? Weir's like, I don't think it means anything. He continues
surely it doesn't mean anything. Surely he just said it.
Even as he's having the most ridiculous and insane hallucinatory visions, he's like, there's nothing wrong here. It's a sort of like science faith. You know, I'm a man of science. I don't believe in the devil, even as the devil's like, you don't believe in me?
Your face.
Yeah, right? Like...
Hello, I am the devil.
It's me, the devil. I am real.
Well, I'm sure there's an explanation for this.
Yeah, exactly. Which is a little, it's a classic, it's sort of like the Jack versus Locke Lost debate, man of science, man of faith. I think, although that's not the most subtle show, it is more interestingly explored in that show than it is here. Miller explains the hallucination he was having. There was a bosun who died in a zero-G fire aboard the Goliath, presumably another military ship he was on. Miller abandoned him because he had to. He saved the other crewmen. And he's been haunted by this. So now he's been seeing visions of this guy on fire. And, the doctor, who's Jason Isaacs from the most recent season of...
White Lotus.
Yes, the White Lotus. At a much younger stage in his career, you're like, oh man,
I didn't recognize him.
He looks the same when you notice it, but it takes a second. Yeah. He's like, wait a minute, I don't think our translator's Latin was very good because we thought the signal was saying save me, but no, actually it's saying salvate tutame, which means save yourselves. And then the last part is
I love that just the whole movie proceeds on save me.
Without
the guy's like, actually, there is another way of looking at this translation.
Actually, it's save yourself, and then the next part is even worse. Save yourself from hell.
From hell.
Oh, good. That's not great. So they realize, the ship has been to another dimension. It's been to hell. But luckily, their original ship has been fixed. The guys have been out.
Oh, look, Lewis and Clark.
Soldering.
Old trusty.
We're getting the hell out of here. At this point in the notes, something we've already reiterated. Why do they send one small rescue team? Why not 10 ships? Weir doesn't want to leave. Captain, we can't leave. This is, this is where we have to be. He feels this weird call of life that's emanating from the core. He's also been seeing his wife. We eventually learn that his wife, I thought his wife was one of the crew people on the ship.
Oh, really?
That was my initial read. Like, why is he so desperate to go back to the ship? Maybe his wife is one of the missing people. That would have made sense from a logical film and writing standpoint. Mm-hmm. No, it turns out his wife just killed herself in their like gravity hut or whatever years ago, probably because he was too busy working on the Event Horizon and didn't notice she had fallen into a chaotic death spiral.
Severe depression.
Yeah. It's like anyway, the woman who has the.
But luckily, he feels guilty enough to bring everyone down with him.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? Peters, who's the woman who has the injured son, sees her son as she's like in the core, and she just like reaches out for him and falls off and just like dies this horrible. And then he's like, "Oh no, Peters, what's happened to you, Peters?" Like weird as he's like trying to avoid leaving. Right, this is when we have the vision. He has the final vision. His eyes are black. She kills herself in a bathtub. Apparently, so one of the things about this movie is like there's like 40 more minutes of it that the studio cut.
Thank God.
I mean, well, that's what I said at the end. I said in my letterboxd, I was like, yeah, I know this movie doesn't make any sense because it was butchered by the studio. By the same token.
Yeah, by the same token.
Like, I don't know if I would have wanted to see any more of this, right?
Yeah, the idea of having to do another 40 minutes of this just to be like, oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah,
It's certainly not worth the payoff.
Yeah. So then he gouges his eyes out and becomes possessed by the devil, essentially. Mm-hmm. He takes one of these. Oh, one of the early Chekhov's gun moments is, oh, what are these charges, Weir? Weir's like, oh, those are for if we need to separate the drive from this, we can use this first. Right. Like, as soon as you see that, I'm like, gee, I'm sure that'll never come back again. So he takes one of those charges and uses it to blow up the Lewis and Clark. He kills one of the characters, Smitty, the pilot, and Cooper is blasted out into space, but luckily Cooper thinks fast and uses his own air supply to shoot himself back. Weir captures Jason Isaacs, the DJ, who's the doctor, and he vivisects him. He like cuts him apart while he's alive. Seems unnecessary. Eventually, they're like, Weir, what have you done to your eyes? And he's like, where we're going, we won't need eyes.
Oh, good. Thank God.
And I'm like, well, that's back to
Let me get mine out.
It's like Back to the Future, right? Like where we're going, we don't need roads. Like the fire.
Sure.
It's like where are your eyes? Where we're going, we don't need eyes.
What I wanted was for Weir to just keep like cutting off various parts of his body. we won't need this either.
We don't need thumbs. We don't need fingers. We don't need toes. Right. We tore a hole in our universe, a gateway to another dimension, a dimension of pure chaos, pure evil. Oh, as opposed to our purely good universe that we live in. Seems real. When she crossed over, she was just a ship. When she came back, she was alive. He's on the bridge. He's like got a gun. He's like gonna kill everyone. And then Cooper, who was sent out into space, flies back in, and Weir, shocked, turns and shoots at him, shoots out a window and gets sucked out into space. And you're like, oh. Suddenly there's just like a real Shining moment where there's just blood everywhere and blood is just pouring in these like flows like the blood elevator in The Shining. Except there's really no explanation for why this is happening. And the blood looks like shit. The blood is like not the thick, syrupy, real looking movie blood from The Shining. Then, they're like, all right, let's get on. We're going to blow up the drive. We're going to separate. We'll do what we talked about earlier at the beginning of the movie. Amazing. They get into the like 4 section and Miller goes back to blow up the corridor that links the 4 section to the drive. Weir returns
Sure, why not?
He's like she won't let me die. He's now like on fire. He's covered in stigmata like wounds.
Yeah.
Almost like Hellblazer, like something, or Hellraiser, not Hellblazer.
Sure.
He gives Miller a satanic vision of his friend he wasn't able to save again. But luckily, some of those carbon scrubbers are around. He grabs one and bashes Weir. And eventually, he detonates, sacrificing himself, consigning himself to live presumably forever with Weir in the hell dimension. And because the gravity drive has been activated. That's the other thing. So the Stark, who is the first officer, I guess, Justin, who's like badly maimed but is in a tube, and one other character escape. Oh, Cooper, the guy who saved the day.
Right.
And we see the sort of event horizon blink out of existence, and it's like, wow, it's gone, never to return. Thank God. And then they're rescued. 72 days later, they're rescued. Stark wakes up, and like the first thing she sees when the rescuer like lifts up his visor is it's Weir, and he's covered in the. And then she's
a hallucination.
She's screaming, and they're like, Stark, it's okay. It's just a rescue crew. It's rescue crew.
Yeah, I'm sure. Seems like she's going to go on to live a very healthy, well-adjusted life from here on out.
Right, and I'm sure all of humanity will be fine now that there's like this instantly traveling across this, star's death ship filled with the demons, right? So that's it, and then it ends with
thank God
with the Prodigy.
Yes, it does.
And I was so happy to hear the Prodigy. I was like, oh yes, my favorite jungle.
Yeah. So why do you think you were so scared?
I think it was the scenes towards the end when he's giving the captain all these hallucinations, and you just kind of cut through different visions of the crew members being tortured.
Sure. Okay.
I think it was watching that late at night and seeing those images of horrible torture as like this devil from outer space. I don't know. I think that triggered something in me.
Well, I'm glad you made it through it this time.
Oh man, barely. I mean, this is a bad movie, but it wasn't as bad as some of the stuff we watched. Like,
I don't know. I mean, I feel like it was shorter than some of the bad ones we've done. I'll give it that.
Yeah. I mean, it's bad. It's really bad. I do like the idea of science leading to the supernatural. I mean, it's stupid, but like it's
stupid, but I like it.
It would be funny if like the most advanced scientific thing ever invented just revealed that the devil is real or something. Just like there's something kind of satisfying about the idea of that happening. All right, so that's Event Horizon. May we never think of it again. I'm sure it'll become an eternal reference point for the pod, but yikes. Yeah. All right. So
back to the real nightmare next week, right?
That's right. We're going to talk about the news, and we are going to talk about the Epstein list. We're going to talk about what's going on with Minneapolis and any other ICE-related stuff. Anything, if the government collapses, we'll talk about that. If we're at war with Iran, which could be possible, people are pointing to that happening again. And that'll be good. Until then, if you like the show, you can follow us on the podcatcher of your choice. And if you really like the show, you can leave us a rating and or review on that podcatcher. You can also follow us on Instagram at the End of the World WMS. And so, news next week. Michael will be reporting live from the UK. Probably while you're there, we'll have to do a UK, like, End of the World in the UK.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. It's ending over there, too, so.
Oh, my God, is it ever?
Yeah.
Wow.
I've yet to see the interminable bounty from Brexit, but maybe it's just around the corner.
Oh yeah. We'll be funding our NHS rather than Europe's migrants or whatever it was. The specious, ridiculous claim they made. All right. So next week news. Until then, this has been the End of the World. Michael and Stu.
I'm Michael,
and I'm Stu, and we will talk to you real soon.